No problem.
Welcome to Chalk It to the Game. It's your host, Marquise Holland,
It's your boy Joe Sue.
KV.
and we are back at it again with another episode. And today, we're going to start it off the hot Brooklyn Nets. Now, Josu, please tell me what you got for me about the Brooklyn Nets. What's going on with them right now? I see they 7-3. They're doing what they're supposed to do, but I'm still not convinced.
Bro, I'm telling you, the Brooklyn Nets are showing you why we need to be paying attention to them. Let's just start with the last couple games. They went on a 3-game win streak. I know that might not be anything, but right now that's the start in the progression side that we all wanted and we all anticipated. You got KD dropping 20, 13, and 5, Kyrie 16, 4, and 8, Harden 28 and 4, doing all-star numbers already. Next game against the Hawks, KD 32, Irvin 26, Harden 31. Next game against the Wizards. Sorry, Kenny. KD versus KD 37, Irving 26. Harden didn't play, but Joe Harris dropped 30 points. But if you had Harden on that side when you needed him, because you know they won by 2 consecutive threes by Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. So if you had James Harden to contribute to that game, would have been close. But I'm saying, man, the Brooklyn Nets are going to end up being number one. Like I said earlier, man, they're playing great, man. KD's averaging 37 and 5, Irvin 27, 4 and 5, and they just signed Shumpert too, man. So it looks like they're doing really well.
For me,
Hey,
go ahead, King. Go ahead.
no, I mean, look, I think that these guys are they're going to be exactly what we thought they are. They're going to be an offensive juggernaut. Me personally, I'm a when I watch basketball, I like to see all around games. I like to see offensive game and defensive games, and I just don't think this team is going to be able to get it done trying to outscore people every single night. It's going to be difficult. So I mean, it's good to see Harden, getting back to Harden things, and Durant getting back to Durant's little things, and Uncle Drew doing his thing, and Joe Harris sprinkled in, those guys. But can they stop anybody? I ain't seen Kyrie stop nobody since maybe 2016 for real.
Kyrie's been dealing with a lot of injuries. Come on now.
That's not my problem. He still gets paid like he's not though. So I don't know. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how they continue this momentum. But hey, man, they're doing their thing right now. So it's good to see.
And that's my problem right there. It's just the fact that they don't have the defense. These guys are still
That's the
playing
problem.
36,
But I still got
30, 36 plus minutes. And they don't have the defense. It's all fine and dandy right now. You can out of go 7 out of 10 right now. In games, win 7 games, lose 3. Like that's cool. But once the playoffs hit, you gotta play that same team consecutively, and they're figuring you out, and you gotta make those adjustments, and you still gotta hit those shots, and you still gotta play 40 plus minutes per game.
It's still early in the season. Don't forget, they can still maneuver their roster, still get a nice little bench. Don't, don't forget,
But
the
what
second half of the season
but what
hasn't been
pieces
written
do they
yet,
have to
so there's
bargain with?
time.
But
What
what pieces do they
exactly?
have to bargain with? Like
I
they're giving
mean,
away all their draft picks.
I'm
They're
not.
clearly a win now team, and they only have 8 people on their roster, 10 people.
I mean,
That
shoot.
would put
Depending on the
Shumpert,
draft picks you have, then they might as well be the best asset you can use.
but they don't have it. They just
How do
gave
you
them
know
all
how many
away.
draft picks they
They
have?
traded them.
Not all of them.
Maybe
What
not
other what
2024.
other picks are you think people are about to get from
They
them?
I mean,
need
it
No
doesn't matter.
picks
look.
for like the next six
Look, they're
years.
gonna figure a way out. I promise you that.
Only way
Gotta
you
win.
figuring a way out is if you get rid of James Harden, Kyrie, or KD. One of them has to
Gotta
go.
be one.
Or way of figuring it out, then yeah, they done already went
So
all. It's no other. It's no other option. Like,
so let me ask you a question then. Do you
go ahead.
think that so right now we're about 7 games post trade, I say 7, 8 games or so, a little less than 10. Do we think that I think that's good enough time to say, do we think that this was the best move to be made, giving up all of your defensive assets for Harden? in essence.
I already said no. I didn't like the trade from the beginning. I didn't like it for the simple fact that you are giving up your bench and just bringing this guy over when you already have two perennial superstars who can get the job done. Now,
Right.
if they do get Andre Drummond, who I think is a missing piece with when I've been saying this from day one, if they manage to get him, then I can see them being a championship team.
They're not going to win the championship yet, though. You got to give them the next 2 years.
They're not. They don't have 2 years. That's what you.
Not 2 years.
KD, hold on. KD, James Harden, Kyrie, they're all young still, bro. Like early 30s.
They don't have 2 years. Brooklyn Nets is not going to wait 2 years for a championship.
They have no choice.
They
really
also are
don't.
not going to
Who's
wait.
stopping the Lakers?
They will give them away. They will.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. They're not going to give them away. So they're not going to win it this year. Give them like the next 2 years.
They're going to
Lakers are
trade
gonna
them
win
away.
again.
If you don't win within 2 years, somebody's getting traded. I think somebody's getting traded regardless, whatever happens, if they win or lose. But
If they win, why trade? Unless you can't afford them.
it's hard
Can't
to keep
afford it for.
the stars with that much money. Hell no.
I mean,
How
you
much
only
that
saw
have
KD
to-
last 2 years in Golden State. That was the perfect situation to be in.
Yeah,
Didn't-
he's
He
not.
was 2 years there.
People would have took a pay cut to play still.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, he took a pay cut. I was about to say, yeah.
Kyrie,
But he only spent 2
James-
years there.
Yeah,
No,
he spent 2
somebody's
years and
leaving.
he did what KD needed to do.
And guess what? They had to win now with KD, and they won now.
I mean, it was inevitable. You put literally the second best player on your team with the greatest shooter of all time and possibly one of the top 5 greatest number 2 of all time as well. Come on now, that was already an unfair advantage. You knew that there was.
All I'm saying is that they won now. That was their goal.
Yeah.
This time,
We knew it was gonna happen. They
If the
just
Nets-
won 2. They just won 1. Went to 7 with LeBron, blew it on their own, but still they broke the record of the Bulls back in the 90s, 73-9, best team of all time. They had the chance, not even the chance. Everybody knew they were going to be the winner of the 2016 NBA Finals. But what happened? LeBron being LeBron and took the dub. And when he took the dub, it was like, we need a missing piece. Got rid of Harrison Barnes, got rid of Bogut wasn't there. Got rid of Zaza Pachulia. They got rid of all of them niggas that they didn't need, all of them people that they didn't need.
that's all great.
It's inevitable.
That's all great.
So now he's with the best ball handler and arguably the best ball handler in history, and also the best one-on-one scorer in history. So if they don't win now,
They're
gonna be
getting
something.
traded. Somebody's getting.
Something's going to happen.
It's
And
not
Harden,
gonna
he ain't got
happen
that
because,
much longer left.
son, I know I'm saying they're gonna be number 1 in the East, but they're not gonna win the championship. I literally would say they will go out in the second round. Maybe if they face Boston. Maybe.
He still got to play defense. Number 1 in the East. You think they could outscore somebody every single night?
Every game. That's what they.
Every game. I don't
It
think
depends
they'll
on
be
the
number
schedule
1,
too.
bro.
If they're facing like if they're facing teams that are trash, like the Knicks,
The Knicks gonna get
the
showing some improvement
Cavs.
now.
My-
Colin Sexton's a problem.
That team.
That's on the first
I
game.
can say
Colin
the
Sexton's a
Cavs, They
problem.
beat them back to back.
That
That's
team
bad.
is not. First of all, that team is. If they don't win now, they're done. They have to win now. It's an all-in situation. When you go all in, you do not expect to win later.
But the thing is, you
Yeah.
knew you was giving up a lot of pieces. And when you knew you was giving up your best pieces, you had to realize I'm sacrificing right now for tomorrow.
That was what they did when
It
Kyrie
was the opposite.
D was hurt
You think it was the
Yeah,
opposite?
last
I
year.
think
that
it's
was
exactly
first.
the opposite. Yeah, I think that right now you can't wait for hopefully chemistry to get better. Like, no,
Yeah.
you got to
And
get what you
chemistry.
got.
No,
Like,
not even
once,
chemistry.
but
It's
once
the
you
bench.
traded away Dinwiddie,
Without
once
a
you
bench,
trade away,
you'll never win.
but that's the problem. They don't like. They're not going to have any capital to get anybody. They don't have
None.
all their money tied up. They don't have any draft picks. It's
Exactly.
an undesirable place for free agents because they don't have any money to pay you. And
They'll
I mean,
have to
at the
take a
end,
pay cut. They still have to figure
you're gonna
stuff
have to
out.
take
They just
yeah,
grabbed
they're
a
going to
big
have to take
chunk.
a pay.
and just said, all right, what are we doing? We don't know. We
You
wasn't.
think people
We just grabbed it, and now we got to sit back and realize what we did.
You think people care? People don't care. People
It's gonna happen. It's literally gonna happen.
It's
whether
not
you
going
care
to
or not.
happen. I don't know what basketball world you think this is, but people do not wait around.
I mean, we had to wait like 8 years.
Now.
Well, not even 8. Yeah, like 9 years.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Miami Heat.
We still had to wait.
Totally different situation.
Point is, you had to wait.
You're not listening. They did not wait. They went to the finals and crapped the bed and then won 2 after that.
No.
Celtics, they won now when they drafted when they picked up Kevin Garnett and they picked up Ray Allen, they had to win now. Everything is a
They still had a bench though.
That's not their problem. If you pissed away your bench, that's your problem.
And I'm saying because they did that, they have no choice but to wait because they're not gonna win.
There is no wait.
They didn't wait.
I understand what you're saying, but that's literally what's gonna happen. You're not gonna win it. So you literally have no choice.
They have to figure it out.
And don't try because you're gonna try. You're gonna do the best you can to win, but you're not gonna win.
Well, that's the problem. Somebody's gonna go. Like this is one of those situations where you done gave everything all away. So now, if you don't win now, there is no 2-3 years. They don't have 2-3 years together. Like
I'm not gonna give it 3. I give
before
it
James Harden came, okay, cool. If they didn't win,
it's win now.
Fine. Like it was cool.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It's not gonna happen.
But
it's gonna stop the Lakers.
I didn't say they were gonna win. I don't care if they don't win because I don't think it was even give away James Harden. I mean, bring James Harden from the get-go. You gave away all those picks. You gave away your bench. Spencer Dinwiddie's hurt. Karis LeVert's gone now. Jared Allen's gone now. Like
he's on the Cavs, and he was showing you why you should have kept him.
So,
Karis LeVert's the only dude that at this point I'm like, okay. But then again, nobody knew that situation. So I mean, other than that, Dinwiddie.
I mean, I'm glad for Karis LeVert because he had to get his physical, and that the trade potential
that could have hurt him in the future, especially.
But at the same time, if it's me, I don't go get James Harden. I don't need James Harden. They didn't need James Harden.
Well, that's true.
Would you say they have a better chance of actually winning it all if they never got James Harden?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Even against the current Lakers right now.
I agree with that. Yes,
winning it.
You need players that know their roles.
I mean, everybody still don't know their roles as well.
Yes.
No, everybody follows their roles. Everybody knows exactly what they're there for. With this team, you have 3 guys who still are trying to figure each other out. They don't know each other's roles yet. James Harden is trying to play point guard.
Okay, in this certain situation, take James Harden out. Take Harden out, and you only got the team that you had: Karis LeVert,
you have role players,
Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen, and KD, and Kyrie. You have that team only.
You have guys that know their role.
So you got them beating the current Lakers right now.
I never said they had.
If they had Spencer Dinwiddie, and they had Karis LeVert back, Jared Allen, and just develop some team chemistry with Kyrie and KD, I'll take them going to the finals and putting up 7 games.
Do you have them winning? Yes or no?
I can't say if they would have won, but I don't have them winning.
Okay.
But I can't say the Lakers is going to be
in the same situation. Y'all would have said it's a win now situation because you got KD and Kyrie, and they're both
it wasn't a win now situation.
How wouldn't it be a win now?
A win now situation.
Your big 2 that you just signed last season were both out for injury. Now you got them together.
Exactly.
Okay, but that's not a win now.
That's why it wasn't a win now situation. They just came off an injury. When you add another parental superstar, that makes it a win now situation. That literally negates all your plans. When you throw out your picks, you throw out your bench, you throw out players from that could have been perennial superstars like Karis LeVert. Makes it a win now situation.
Yeah, they don't have time to wait. Like, there is no way that you can have a 3-tiered, 3-headed monster like that and not be a win now team.
Exactly.
There's no way. There is no way.
It don't make sense.
Their fault.
That's like saying
Yeah,
putting
of course. It's
Giannis and Dame on the same team and saying, "Oh no, they're gonna win 3 years from now." No, they're not. You need them to win now.
like, what's the
That's
point of
fine.
putting them together now if
They
we're
can
trying
be
to
a
win
win
3 years
team
from now?
now. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
a win now team. That's fine. But the fact of the matter is, reality sets. They are not going to win now. It's
Of course
inevitable.
not.
They are not going to win.
of
They're
course
not going
not.
to beat the Lakers.
I don't
So
think they're
they
going to
make
win
the
either.
best to be in this win now situation, but it's not going to happen. They're
So let
not
me
going
ask
to
you a
win
question. Do
now.
you think Philly is a win now team?
Not really. I mean, they might be, but they're
Yes,
not going to win now.
yes,
They're not going to win.
yes.
Who was a? But no. They have to win
Actually,
now. It's not saying that they will
actually,
win. It's saying that they have to win. So let me
They
ask you a
have to.
question.
okay,
Who do you think
okay.
is a win now team? Who do you
Mm,
think? Who would you categorize as a
Philly
win
is
now
a
team?
Boston.
perfect example.
Boston's a win now team.
Boston can wait another year. They're not a win now team. All of them are under 28. All of them are fine. They're young. Kimba's the
They're definitely
oldest dude on
young,
that team.
but I would give them another. I would give them
I'll
another
give him another year.
at max. At max.
They
They're
got another year.
little
Jason Tatum
stuff.
has another while to go before he can lead that team.
I think
He's not
you
the
got to
yeah.
understand though.
Man,
Though,
okay.
okay, that's why I say I give it another like two, maybe year or two, because
Me too.
he been in the league for a couple. Jaylen Brown been in the league for a couple. You feel me? They just bought in Kemba Walker. That was his first year. Okay, cool. The year
Traded away Gordon.
was Kyrie Irving. So now it's like they're getting the team. So now it's about to be Jaylen Brown team. It's about to be Jason Tatum team. So you give it another year or two, it's a win now. Just like in Philly, Philly is a win now. Like when you allow
Got to.
Joel
But
Embiid
they
to
don't
show
have
up,
anyone though.
they have to
Who
win.
really
They
That's
do.
not
help
their. Philly
They
went in
do though.
all in.
to win it now?
No, they
Yes,
went in
and
on
this is
Embiid and
why.
they went in on Tobias Harris. That was a dumb decision in itself, but they set up their team in order for them to try to make a title run this year.
And they
Actually,
and
the
their two
past 2 years.
guys, and their two guys are Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Anytime you allow players like Joel Embiid to wait a while to come back off injury, and then he gets acclimated to the game, just like Ben Simmons waited a while off injury, he acclimated to the game. Now it's three,
Blake
4
Griffin.
years. It's time to pay up. People wants to start
Yeah.
seeing their money reciprocated with championships. It's time for Philly to win now. That's why people are like, oh yeah, if Philly don't win, somebody has to go. This is when the team has to start splitting up. Because I don't know why they paid Tobias Harris all that money, or Al Horford, and keep dibbling and dabbling with different pieces to try to make these two guys fit, but they don't
Jimmy
fit.
Butler.
Simmons is not that type of player. This is a Joel Embiid's team. Ben Simmons can't shoot. He can play defense. Okay, he gives you 16, 8, and 8, but he's like a Lamar Odom without a jump shot. He's not a superstar to me. He's not an all-star to me. I think he's a good role player, but this is Joel Embiid's team. He's just not that guy.
Anybody that can't shoot, I can't
And
consider you a star.
and this
I'm
is
sorry.
this
You
is the
can't be.
time. No, go ahead.
I mean,
And this
yeah,
is the
that means
time
you're
Ben
just not an
Simmons
overall
has to
player.
go.
Kenny's right.
Ben Simmons must go because they're not going to win now.
None of those teams are gonna win now. The Lakers literally have the NBA on lock for like two,
No,
3 years.
But
but the
they're not
fact
going
is,
to the finals. I don't think Brooklyn Nets is going to make it out, and if they do,
I have to say ECF. But that's the thing, though. When we talk about a win now team, we're talking about people or teams that have the nucleus intact, so that if they could make a run, they'd be like, "All right, cool." Those top 3 or 4 teams in the East and West, those teams have at least a chance to be like, we can hold that trophy up at the end of the day. So when we say teams like the Nets, teams like the Sixers, who have put themselves into those positions where they have to win now, where they have no draft picks, they have limited salary capital. Like, it's just, you have no choice but to be successful this year because you don't have a next year. That was the point.
I
So
think I
I
think it's a
understand.
lot of teams who needs to win now, like
That's true.
that needs
yeah,
to get a championship.
Lakers just don't beat everybody.
Utah is one of those teams, but Utah is not going to win. You pay go all that money. You got Donovan Mitchell. Like
But they need another star though.
that's why I
They gotta
wasn't
give
like
him time.
so hot. It's his fourth year, fifth about to be his fifth year next year. Like the Wayne Wade won in 06. Like you feel me? Like
That's 3 years.
it's the nature of the beast. Like
So,
they give
all right.
you years, and then once these years is starting to come up, you gotta start winning. People don't care.
Clippers are a
So,
win now team.
so let's stay on that for a little while. All right. So we know we have guys that after a while they put up great numbers, and after a while it's like you want them to start winning. Like you should see, like Keith just said, you want to see their hard work reciprocate into wins. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to get you to the playoffs. So speaking about that, how we feel about Bradley Beal? Because he's been putting up the numbers. It's just been no results coming from it, from the team or really anywhere. So how we feel about that?
Bradley Bill needs to go. He needs to leave. He continues to stay there, and if he wants to stay there, then he's going to continue to see the same results. He has to.
So, I mean, like,
He has to want better for himself. And if
He's 27 too, so he's still young. He plays at superstar level too, so he knows he needs to go to a contending team. I got 3 teams that need him actually.
like he needs to go. He needs to
3
leave.
teams need him. Like
which
Sixers,
team?
Lakers need him, and Jazz needs him.
The Lakers
Jazz
need
definitely need him. They got a lot of shooters
him.
already.
Need with Bradley Bill.
What you mean? You could trade.
What do you mean? What I mean?
They're gonna trade Wesley Matthews. They're gonna trade Caruso. Like you gotta trade those guys to even match the contract.
You said the Sixers, the Lakers, and who else?
Jazz.
Those are your 3 teams that you think that could use Bradley Bill?
Yes.
Why? Just why? I would love to hear it.
They need extra shooters.
Why
They're missing
Lakers?
that extra piece. And Bradley Beal, at 27 years old, has proven that he can be that extra piece to help a team become a championship, to win a championship.
For the Sixers?
Help, maybe. Maybe, but not right now.
So Jimmy Butler,
that'll increase their chances, but it's not going to happen. But like I said, they just need his help.
So Jimmy Butler
can help them win the championship. But if the team happens to be better, ain't nothing you can do.
So if Jimmy Butler with the Sixers, because we do remember Jimmy Buckets was with the Sixers.
I do remember.
Buckets.
Yes.
That didn't go well.
Didn't go to the finals.
Wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault though.
I didn't say it wasn't his. I didn't say it was his fault. I just said it didn't go well.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. We got to think about what are the consistent pieces there. Embiid, fucking
Ben Simmons,
and Ben
Tobias
Simmons.
Harris.
Those are Tobias. Those 3 guys there are the key factors in all of the trying and the attempts that they've had over the past 3 years. Formerly with Brett Brown, and I thought he was doing a really good job. But at least with the team that he had. But I mean, who's really to blame here? I think Embiid gets soft at times. When he was by himself in the playoffs last year in the bubble,
swept. But
I mean, he just did not look good at all.
He was dropping.
Sorry, it looked soft.
He was dropping 30.
But my thing
soft.
is, Butler goes to Miami and then makes the finals. I don't think Bradley Beal is going to do too much for the Sixers.
Okay, so where would you put him?
What about the Lakers though? Why would the Lakers need him?
What do you mean? Why?
For what?
What do you mean for what? He can literally be that extra piece that they need. Well, they only need an extra piece.
That's what I'm saying. So why he go to the Lakers?
Better the team still.
They don't need him though.
They don't
need another shot creator. That's the thing. They don't need another guy.
Consistent one. If you like, I still like.
But they don't need
Bradley Beal's more consistent than Kyle Kuzma.
They don't even use Kyle Kuzma as a shot creator. He's a spot up guy now. Like all just LeBron needs is spot up guys. The only other shot creator on that team is Anthony Davis.
And that's
real
all
talk.
they needed.
That's all they need. Like other than that, everybody else just find yourself in the corner or find yourself on the wing. You have your hands ready, get that pocket ready. So when he whips that ball to you out of his post, you just raise up and shoot, and you better make it. You better make it. You better make it.
The Utah Jazz. Why the Jazz?
What do you mean? Why? They need him
They need
to.
another shot creator.
They
They need
need another
Donovan
shooter. We was
Mitchell
just
is the
talking
number
about it
2.
last week. We was just talking about it last week.
Ooh.
Donovan Mitchell needs somebody else.
He
And
needs somebody else,
Bradley
but I'm
Beal
not.
is a better contribution than Mike Conley.
So who runs the point?
Well, you do have your backups. Well, no, I can't even say your backups. My fault. Well, Donovan Mitchell has been running the point anyways.
So yeah, Mitchell at the 1, Beal at the 2, Ingles at the 3, barring that you don't have to trade him.
Nah,
Barring that you don't have to trade him.
I got.
And then you're
I got-
definitely trading Mike Conley.
They have to trade Mike Conley. That's fine.
Maybe
This
JC
is
as
my
well.
lineup. This is my lineup. I got Mitchell at the 1, Beal at the 2. I got Boban at the 3. I ain't got no choice, but I got to use Royce O'Neal because he's like the only 4, like legit 4 on the team. And I put Gobert at the 5.
You're not.
That is a 10th seed.
You're not keeping Boban. You're not keeping Joel, and you're not keeping. You might not keep Rudy Gobert for Bradley Beal.
You got to keep him. I don't think his contract is that high.
It's not.
You have to trade somebody else.
It's not that. You think the Wizards is about to let you keep a young Boban, who Conley?
Oh, good point.
Averaging 15 plus. By the way,
I know Conley's averaging 15 plus. That's why I put him up.
Ingles.
Traded.
They're not just getting back anything, and you're giving up some first round picks.
I would give you Mike Conley, and maybe depending on how many draft picks I have, I'll give you probably 1 or 2 draft first round.
They don't want just draft picks. They want 2 to 3 players. I know what they're
going to give you 3 players. No.
They're going to ask for. You have no choice. You want Bradley, right?
You're asking for my franchise guy.
Yeah, he's my franchise guy.
You're asking for my franchise guy. No matter what his contract is, you're asking for my franchise guy, and you don't think I'm getting some of your young talent back so I can mess with
what I'm saying.
So I can mess with Thomas Bryant when he comes back and have maybe Westbrook give him some type of knowledge. Just give him some type of knowledge. Like, there's no way I'm giving him my franchise guy, and you're not giving him nothing.
Hold on.
You gotta give me Boban. You gotta give me probably Rudy. You gotta give me JC.
You feel me? You're definitely
gotta give me that.
You
gotta give me Mike Conley. I need a backup. Or you move Russ to the 2, and you have Mike Conley run the 1. Could work. Have 2 combo guards. Go ahead.
I don't know. If
I'm gonna give
anybody
Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson.
If I'm anybody, Bradley Beal.
Royce O'Neal.
Bradley Beal can go to a place like Toronto.
You said Toronto?
Yeah.
So who they get
another score?
Go to Toronto.
You might be able to give up Kyle. You might be able to give him up.
But they're not gonna give Kyle up because he got to retire. He got to retire there. That's the point.
Well, he can always go back there like Paul Pierce and retire for a day. I don't care. But you got Van Fleet there. You got a point guard.
Have to give Van Fleet up.
They're not giving up. He's the future.
You want Bradley?
They're realizing.
I'll give up. They're not going to give up. They're not going to give up. That's what I'm saying. They're not giving up for Fred Van Fleet.
So who are they giving up?
Russ.
Because they're going to need. They're not going to do that. They're going to have to give up Siakam.
That's what they're not going to do. Maybe Siakam. It's either OG or Siakam.
They're giving up OG.
You got to take Kyle.
They're going to give up OG. They would have gave up OG. Nice. Kyle and OG would have to go. That would.
Thing is, I'm not too high on Siakam either. Though.
No, but
he's good, but he's not.
But I would like a Fred Van Fleet, Brad Beal, Siakam than a Fred.
Okay, so who's
an OG
left to play with?
They got a decent team.
Who's Bradley Beal gonna have left to play with? You have to give up Kyle. You have to give up Fred and Siakam.
You're not giving up Fred.
They're not going to give up all 3 of those.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to give up.
The point. We will have 3 point guards.
2 of those.
We'll take OG and we'll take Kyle.
To the point where it's just Kyle and OG.
I mean, me, if I'm a GM, I'm not going for Kyle Lowry. I don't need Kyle Lowry.
You don't need him. The thing is, the Wizards, they don't need him either. The Wizards are in a rebuilding.
They're just
so at this point,
Kyle and OG and some picks.
Yeah, we need young guys. We have young guys, but we need leadership. So we take Kyle Lowry, we use his
I'll take
leadership.
they
OG,
would.
he
I
young.
think that would be a better fit for Brad Bill though. Toronto. Who else? Who else that
If you trade Marcus Smart, you might be able to get him with the Celtics.
relax. They don't need him on the Celtics.
They don't need him, but of course you can always use another score. Because other than that,
you're gonna have to give up
what?
Kemba Walker or Jason
now they
Tatum
have
or
three
Jaylen
good
Brown.
ones.
You're gonna have to give up one of
They
them.
got two good ones.
You got Jason, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, Marcus.
Kemba is not as
Tatum.
consistent as I would want him to be.
You don't need
He'll
that.
give you some
Somebody
buckets.
else got to play point guard and be this point forward. That's too much.
No, that's not saying that. I said Marcus Smart, not Kemba. You keep Kemba there. You move. Yeah, that's what happens.
Smart and it's flopping, so I'll give him up.
Bro,
He's a great defensive player.
You have to. Well,
hell
you do need
no,
that.
I'm not.
You're probably gonna have to. No. You can't give up.
I'm not giving up JT, and I'm not giving up JB or Kemba.
They're not just giving
But
Bradley Bill.
that's a good trade, though.
But they don't need him. They already have enough shooters.
Heck no. As the Wizards, first of all, if
you see, they still don't know. Like my thing is that you got three young guys, three like really good, really.
And then you don't even know how that's going to mesh well. I don't even. Jason, Jaylen Brown, and Brad. I don't really like it, honestly. I don't.
I don't.
So Celtics don't need him. So
what? All three of them, how they are right now?
Teams actually need
somebody like a Bradley Bill. Actually, who else? There's a lot of teams who need him. If you're gonna really trade somebody, I'll trade CJ.
But they're gonna have to give him more than CJ.
No,
CJ and Nurkic.
I don't think
I had to give him Nurkic.
CJ. The reason why I say I don't know is because they might have to give up a draft pick, but they might not have to give up another player because of CJ average with his numbers appear to look like.
Even from what you said, Bradley was more consistent. CJ McCollum's inconsistent. So why would I give up my most consistent player for him?
Because he clearly don't want to be here.
He goes from being a 2 to a 1. You don't know what he might do.
You think you're gonna put CJ at the 1?
No, I'm saying he goes from being
Russell Westbrook
or number 1.
Oh, being the number 2 option to being the number 1 option.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
You said CJ's gonna be a number 1 with the Wizards?
He will be the number 1.
Thank you.
He would have to be the number 1.
He would have to be.
What about Westbrook?
He's not. He was never the number 1.
He's never the number 1.
He knew he came in to help Beal really flourish into being an MVP guy.
So he could score.
Everybody knew that.
Just like other players score.
But
CJ
I still feel like you're gonna have to give up more on the.
They give up picks. They give up like 2 picks and McCollum because the numbers
take.
And think about the picks that the Trailblazers would have anyway. Think about the picks the Trailblazers would have, because they're going to finish in the top 5.
Not only that, it gives Portland somebody who is consistently can run with Dame and is finally and they're more of a force to be working with than what people will probably think too. Because
it's gonna be interesting to see how the West plays out with that.
You hear Dame and CJ, it's fun, but it don't sound dangerous like Bradley Bill and Dame. That sounds dangerous. That sounds like a problem right there. That sounds like something that you got to prepare for every night. You know,
they're still not gonna win it though. That could be a problem, but there's gonna be a solution. I
think it would be more of a problem though because of how good Bradley Bill is. Because if Bradley and Dame average 30, that's a hard team to beat in the playoffs.
There's still going to be an answer.
I don't see them. The thing is, I can't really see them just getting bounced.
They'll make it. I'll say they'll make it to the conference finals.
And to be honest, like Dame is trouble in the playoffs, bro. Like so.
But he
conference finals.
Would you give him second round?
Think about the teams they beat. I might say second round
with Bradley Bill. And if they
You're
get
still
Bradley
not
Beal,
getting
they'll
no
be able to,
defense.
well, their bench isn't even all that though.
You're not getting defense, but it gives you
Bench isn't all that.
this.
So
The thing about the Portland Trailblazers is when you double Dame, it's like they fall apart. This is it gets to the point where now you can't really double him, because if you double him, Bradley Beal will go off for 40, 50 points. You never seen how CJ goes off and it'd be like, oh, he scored 30. Oh, yay, CJ scored 30.
They did.
Yay.
but then wouldn't they qualify as a win now team too?
If they get Beal, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If they get Beal,
Gonna win.
The thing is though, I feel like they'll go a lot deeper than what people expect. Just like how Toronto
second round.
go to the finals with when they traded DeMar DeRozan from for Kawhi, and they ended up in the finals. I think it'd be something like that. Honestly, I think they'll be close to either getting there or they might get there. Honestly, because
So who they beating in the
that's
playoffs?
going to be an issue.
So who they beating in the playoffs? You say they're beating Dallas. You say that they beating Denver. You saying that they beating the Clippers most likely.
Oh, the
Who else are they beating?
Definitely gonna have a problem trying to stop that tandem.
Well, I'm asking, like, so who are they beating though? Having a problem stopping them is different than being like, we're beating them.
I could see them beating the Clippers. I honestly see them beating everybody.
Okay.
Just
For the
because
record, I disagree with that.
the team,
But all right.
because of the dynamic of the team, the way the team is shaped up to be.
I said what I said. For the record, I disagree. But all right.
Because I don't think it would be a chemistry problem. I don't think that it would be a chemistry problem. What they got that boy that foreign who be going off for them. They got Carmelo who's gonna give them great bench production, and then you got the 1 and 2 tandem. Now that's a real 1-2 punch. That's a problem. Like, it's not. I don't got the Nuggets stopping them. I don't have Utah beating them. The only two teams that will give them that will make it really interesting is the Lakers and the Clippers. I can see them beating the Clippers for sure. The Lakers, I'm 50-50 because it's just LeBron.
think AD's gonna produce.
And bet against a LeBron.
You said you think you got when they go against the Lakers, it's a 50-50. That's what you're saying?
He's discounting AD right now. He don't know what he gonna get out of AD.
I'm not saying that. It's just that when playoffs come, I mean, AD produces. It's just you're getting the best LeBron in the playoffs. So yeah, it's a different. It's a different guy.
Well, why are you 50-50 if you know you're getting the best LeBron?
Because I still know I'm gonna get the best Dame and Bradley Beal too.
You don't know you're gonna get the best Brad.
Be the best.
We ain't seen Brad in the playoffs in the past 3 years.
But you think but the thing is, if he gets there, I'm not surprised.
Dame is not used to getting past
crazy.
Round.
He been to the Western Conference Finals. He know what it takes like.
When? I remember, but I just
he never went to Western Conference.
Yeah.
I think he been to Western Conference Finals.
He has.
Okay, hold on.
He literally been to the Western Conference Finals. But
last year they did.
It was a year where
before.
it was just set up for him. I'm pretty sure it was like the last one. Either
you talking about the joint where he hit the game winner?
The Warriors.
The first round they beat the.
It was like 2 years
Western
ago.
Conference Finals.
2019 against the Warriors.
That's what I'm saying.
And they got swept.
But
is that the year that he hit the shot and caught Jordan's face?
Huh?
Bro, I don't know.
That was
he hit a lot of shots in people's faces, bro.
No, I'm talking about because he ended the series that way with that shot.
So
like when he shot it over Paul George.
It had to be that. But either way,
that was the first round.
They could
about that year.
Oh, okay.
They could do something. Him and Bradley Beal. I like that.
I don't know. I don't know about that. But all right.
They're not going to beat LeBron. No team is going to beat the Lakers right now.
I like that better than him going and helping the Lakers win another championship when they're already on pace to win it.
Man, let him get it.
Well,
okay.
I don't know. Well, let's switch gears.
Which
We see the Candace Parker has been picked up by Chicago Sky,
I like
spending
that.
13 long seasons with the Sparks.
Now she's going home.
Sparks. Now she's going back home. The Chicago kid. And they got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. I like to see like what she brings to them, that veteran leadership though. That's
MVP too. MVP. She was third runner-up MVP last season. And you know who was number 4? Yeah, Courtney Vandershoot on the same team.
see
That's
how
interesting.
it all plays out.
Bro, I'm telling you, yo, that team, I really feel like they're actually gonna win based off of like the stats that all the women provide. That team is gonna be a problem to reckon with.
The Seattle Storm is a problem.
That's fine.
The Vegas Aces. I'm liking Lambeer as a coach. I like him, and they got a good young team around them. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this new WNBA season plays out.
I'm gonna
Keep an
definitely
eye
be
on
paying
some of
more
these games.
attention to it. They be getting it in over there. I don't care what
They're buckets, yo.
they really be.
Y'all see the bubble?
Buckets.
That competition last year was crazy. Last year in the bubble,
Did you see what
Yeah.
Skylar Diggs did?
Look, man, it was so many names. I was writing down names. I was just like, yeah, I might as well just write down the whole roster. Everybody was going
Yeah,
off.
honestly.
Going crazy.
That
No,
bitch
she
fucking
hit one shot. Like it was just so crazy. Like she just like and the way she shoot is just like so crazy too. Cause she was just coming down, she just threw it on up and it was all net. I'm like,
She's a shooter, bro.
yeah, that's how she looked though. That's what she did. She like this. I'm like, okay, she's really
shoot. You know what I mean?
You feel me?
but she been that good though. So it's like this is not a surprise.
Nah,
Not at all.
definitely.
But let's fast forward. All this basketball talk. Time to get on to the football portion. This boy Deshaun Watson. He wants out of Houston. Even though they got a coach. You think he should stay?
Look, this new head coach, he's not gonna say he's unproven, but last year his last position was wide receivers coach, for the Baltimore Ravens, which if we're looking at it just as far as his influence on the team as far as being the wide receivers coach, it wasn't that good. So to be honest with you, I'm going to be paying a lot more attention to this team and how they interact and what's the culture, what's the character of this team, like how are they going to come out, what's their OTAs going to be looking like moving forward. Because this guy is kind of unexperienced when it comes to head coaching, or really, I didn't really see much of even a coordinator position, on his resume. So it's going to be interesting to see. If I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm still trying to get out of there. Just because you bring a new coach in don't mean that the coach of the entire franchise, like his owner's still there, his untruthfulness or his lack of transparency with you is enough to make you want to leave. So I don't blame him if he still want to leave. But David Culley, congratulations to him. Wish him all the best moving forward. But Sean Watts, time for you to go, big fella.
He should definitely leave because the Texans aren't going to go anywhere. The offensive line needs work. The defense has been subpar for a number of years. The only players that they really have, they gave away their best wide receiver, who was literally, I would have to say Julio's the best wide receiver. Not Julio, I'm sorry. Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the game. I know you're going to think I'm wild because you put Julio over everybody, but that boy Hopkins is a problem. That boy Hopkins is a problem. Okay. And they gave that away, literally. If you had an offensive line, you kept DeAndre Hopkins plus Deshaun Watson. That could have been better. And you had Honey Badger. You had Honey Badger a few years ago. And he's doing well with the Chiefs right now. So if you kept that team, fixed your offensive line, that's all you have to do. Then Deshaun Watson would never want to leave. But now I would want Miami. That's a better option for him. They just went 10-6. You get a veteran quarterback, a young veteran quarterback in Deshaun Watson. You have Ryan Fitzpatrick as your backup. You got to give away Tua. You have to. And they have what, the third pick of the draft? So I'd have to give that up too. I'd have to give up Tua in the third pick just so I could get Deshaun Watson. I was 10-6 last season. What do you think I'm going to do this season? Exactly.
So you give up your third pick with the 10-6 team that you got with your 10-6 team. And you don't think you need pieces though?
Like where? I mean,
no, they need pieces, dude. The Dolphins, I like them. I like their young energy. I really, really like Brian Flores. I liked him when he first got there, and I knew it was going to take some time. I was hoping that the Dolphins franchise gave him that time, which they have. And you see it's headed in the right direction. But if we're talking about you get a person like Deshaun Watson, you turn yourself into a win-now team, or you're trying to contend in the AFC. I don't think they're just one quarterback away from being contenders. And it's going to be another 2 years before they become real contenders, especially in the AFC. So
they have the AFC.
And, I mean,
they're definitely going to win that division. Their real problem would be the Chiefs.
No, because you still got Buffalo in
there. I would say
you still got
Josh Allen's number. I would have winning over Josh Allen. I would have that.
I'll tell you right now, that Buffalo defense is not to be played with.
I understand.
So what I'm saying is that's division.
Easy, but it's definitely doable.
But that's just division. We ain't even talking about conference. So as far as getting out of AFC, it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be the Chiefs. That's it.
Yeah, so you're gonna have maybe if you have this team.
I'm not saying they're gonna go to the bowl and win.
I still don't think they're better than. I still don't think they're better than. Better than Baltimore.
But,
if they get Deshaun Watson, that doesn't make that team better than Baltimore.
Baltimore's offense will still be way more dynamic
than the Browns. They definitely might not be better than the Browns. Like
not the Steelers.
Not the Steelers. It's still they still have a lot that they need to work on. And I'm not just picking him just to pick him up. You gotta add some pieces to him. So I would leave Tua.
What do you mean? Can't leave Tua.
What they doing? They don't
Tua gotta go.
He would have to go for sure. But what I'm saying is he don't need to. They don't need to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They put themselves. The thing is, if they get Deshaun Watson, they put themselves into a position where they have to now make other moves, which may compromise their team chemistry, that what they got going on right now, to try to get other players. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do, because is everybody committed to? You go from being committed to rebuilding to being committed to win now within a matter of months. And you just had this team get the culture of, like, they were just winless last year, if I'm not mistaken. Brian Flores took a team. Yeah, the Dolphins, like
the Dolphins.
I don't think last year, not this past year. Like, they really had a really horrible year. So the thing is, you went from having a mediocre, horrible year, or actually average year for maybe in Miami, to having a 10-6 year. They haven't been 10-6 in a long time. Long time. So you just now getting that culture established. They're not turning into a win now team. And if you get Deshaun Watson, you turn yourself into a win now team. Or you have to have that. Other than that, you're wasting his time. That's the same thing to Texans. And why would he come there if he could do the same thing with the Texans?
But he'd rather go to the Jets.
Wasting his time.
When the Jets turn themselves in, well, they don't have the pieces, so they can't be a win now team. But he puts himself in.
I'm not his agent.
In the Jets.
I am not his agent. I don't advise him to go to any of those teams. But any other team is, you put yourself in a position of possibly not necessarily being behind somebody, but any other team is already almost a contender, or they're content with their quarterback situation. Only other team that I can maybe think of is Carolina. And I don't think they're too big on giving up Bridgewater.
I would give up Bridgewater.
but I don't think that they're committed because Bridgewater is a good quarterback for them. He is. Whether he's a good quarterback in the league is a different thing. He's a good quarterback for them.
Bridgewater gets injured too. He gets injured like quite
Every
often.
quarterback gets injured.
I understand that, but
Every
you still
quarterback
give
gets
up more
injured.
than Bridgewater.
I'm not. No, what I'm saying is, I think that he's a good quarterback for them. So if I'm Carolina and I have a quarterback that fits me, I'm not looking to get anybody else, no matter how good they are. So other than them, I don't see any other team needing Deshaun Watson, other than those few teams that need a quarterback, like New York. And Miami really answered their QB question, so they don't need a QB. They would just want them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what teams can you really think of that need a quarterback?
Okay, do you think Washington would sign him?
No, but I think they should.
I think it'd be a good look, but I don't know if they'll do it.
And the thing is, though,
they'd have to
got
give
Terry
up
McLaurin. They got a great defense.
They have to give up
just
big pieces. So who are they going to give up?
Somebody with a big contract, probably on defense.
The thing with the thing with Deshaun Watson is like the fact that he wants to leave. You're going to force his hand for him to do something that he doesn't want to do, or you're going to have to trade him for nothing.
Honestly, like his
doesn't want to be there.
Has a no trade clause, so I don't know how he wants this trade.
Of that negated.
He has to, he has to sign off on it. That's all it is.
The thing is,
they can't trade him willingly.
So like just like with James Harden, like if James Harden didn't want to be there in Houston, all he really had to do was not show up, miss a couple checks, keep being a cancer. Eventually, you're going to get rid of this guy. And the thing is, you would get rid of him for nothing. As much as you don't want to and you want to get something back, you would get rid of him for nothing. Deshaun Watson already expressed interest, saying that he doesn't want to be there. With that being said,
he'd have to sit out
him for next to nothing because of how bad he doesn't want to be there.
When you
don't want to be nowhere,
because you're granting his request. First time.
Exactly. But the thing is, it's like if you don't move on, you're going to continue to hurt your organization. So imagine playing without a quarterback. Now your fans is going to be upset. Now money, that's you losing. Like you see, it's all a slippery slope if you don't get rid of Deshaun Watson, and this could have been avoided. It's a lot that's going into it. So you could almost get him for next to nothing. That's if a team to trade you, and that's what a lot of teams is waiting out. You see how quick Matthew Stafford got traded and got a couple of picks. But the thing is, they know Deshaun doesn't want to be there. All you got to do is wait it out. You wait it out. You could get him for nothing. Think about that. You could get a superstar, top 5 talent at QB for next to nothing, all because he didn't want to be there.
That's the issue now, and the other piece of this is that because he doesn't want to be there, and because there's no trade thing, the team themselves, they still have the upper hand in all this, because clearly they've been okay with him not being happy. They don't want him to go. They don't care if he's happy or not. If he's on the roster, he's on the roster. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, whether he plays or not, they're still making money off him. So at the end of the day, they still have some type of power with this. And it's not like they can just wait it out. Because the more that you wait is the more that I have leverage if I'm the Texans. Because and I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day. And it's about, so if you want something that I have, the more that I make you wait for it is the more desperate that you're going to be for it. And the more that you'll give up for it.
But go ahead.
No, I'm saying, and the thing about the no trade clause is that Deshaun Watson can pick where he wants to go. In essence, I still have the signature. So if I'm the president, or if I'm the GM, I'm like, all right, cool, you want to go, but you got to give me exactly what I want in return so you can go. Other than that, I'm holding you hostage, and that's just me as a businessman looking back into it. So. Yeah, Deshaun got a lot of power in this, but at the end of the day, he's doing himself damage at the same time. So
I think. Go ahead.
No, that was the end of it.
My fault, because my thing is they can do. I feel as though They can do that right now only because the season is over. But once that season starts back up, Deshaun is going to have a lot to say.
But it's not going to take that long. Like, to the season, let's say, training camp starts late July, right? It's February now to July. That's about 5 months. These talks are not going to last that long because they want to get them in for OTS. They want to get them for voluntary practices for the summer stuff so they can be throwing the ball around for the receivers, get that chemistry in. They want him there because every day that he's not there is reps that they're missing. So they want that chemistry. So every day that you don't have him is a day that you get more desperate to have him on your team. Because we already saw how no practice and no preseason didn't help, had it affected some of these players. They get injured. They don't have their timing is messed up. It just doesn't work. So do you really want to force your hand with that, or do you want to, you know what? Let's give them what they want. Let's trade whoever we need to just for this guy. But you instantly turn yourself into a win now team. Any team in this race turns themselves into a win now team. They have to. So
this is true, but if you don't get him back in it, for training camp, do you see yourself as being desperate? You don't have to get desperate. Let's just say you do for a guy like Deshaun Watson. If you get him next to nothing, right, and they give you and you have all of that ability to maneuver, you technically don't have to win now just for the sake that you got him for next to nothing. Now it's all about shopping for the pieces for him.
yeah.
It's when you give away so much to get one asset back. If you ain't
you're gonna have to.
Huh?
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. There's no way me as a Texans organization is going to give up we just talked about Bradley Beal. There's no way I'm giving up my franchise guy, whether he wants to be here or not, without something that I feel is equal in return. Whatever I'm getting back is not going to be for nothing. Like, at the end of the day, I might as well just release him. At that point, what's the point of me trading him if I'm not getting nothing for him? So I'm gonna get everything I can. I'm gonna milk that pony as much as I can to get every single pick, every single player I can get, if I need cash considerations, if I need compensatory picks, like whatever I need, I'm going to get it because I have what you want, and the more time that you don't have him, is the worse off your offense is going to be. That's one less day he doesn't know that playbook. That's one less day he doesn't get that chemistry with his receiver. That's one less day he don't get to talk with his offensive line and build up that trust and all that stuff. So he puts himself in a situation. That's all I was trying
to say. We'll see what happens with it, though. That's all I'm gonna say, because it's a very sticky one at the end of the day. Now, with this Pro Bowl going on, like what's going on with the Pro Bowl, fellas?
I mean, nothing much, honestly. This is the first time it's ever been virtual, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
I was looking, I'm like, where is everything going on? Like, I really wanted a Pro Bowl, get to see like the All-Stars, well, not All-Stars, but like the Pro Bowlers, the best of their team come out and play the game that they love, man. I definitely wanted to see that. See my boy Darius Leonard, see my boy Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, you know what I'm saying? See the boys come out.
So with it being virtual, walk me through what's going on. Is it like just Madden? or is it like exactly?
I guess it's basically just Madden for real.
Yeah, from what I saw, they had 2 celebrities or 4 celebrities go head to head. I think one person I saw was Snoop Dogg. I think Snoop Dogg was in it. And they picked the teams, or they had AFC, NFC, and they just went at it. I mean, you still get the recognition for it, for being a Pro Bowler, but just the fun of being at that game is non-existent. So
it's literally like a free game of football.
Yeah,
just because you're the best on your team.
Because I missed the field status that they do and all the hype behind the Pro Bowl. That was always cool for me.
Yeah.
Loved it, man. That was always a good end of the year thing.
But with COVID,
You remember they used to have it after the Super Bowl? Nobody would watch it because the Super Bowl was done.
yeah,
But you had those guys that definitely still wanted to play.
That's true.
Yeah. That one last game.
I just remember that Sean Taylor hit. That Sean Taylor hit on that corner. That was my favorite.
Rest in peace, man.
What was that? 06, right?
Yeah.
I think it was around 06, yeah.
So that boy got up like it was nothing, man. He ate that jump. He ate
dead.
that.
He was definitely dead for 5 seconds.
I don't think he played another down. I don't think he played again that game, or
I don't think he ever thought about running the ball ever again.
He ate that jump.
No more fake
got up and said, "You know what, guys? I'm gonna call it a career."
That was it.
Yeah,
that was that.
I made my Pro Bowl, man.
So I know you was talking about Byron Leftwich and them. Let's switch over real quick. You know, I'm talking about the players. What about these teams, you know, like the Bucks that do have black coordinators and stuff? Do you see more black coaching jobs being available for teams?
I would think so. Well, I would hope so as a black man, but I feel like they definitely need to consider that option more. There's a lot of black coaches right now. They're doing well. They play for great teams right now. You got Mike Tomlin, Steelers, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Byron Leftwich, offensive coordinator for the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? You got Eric Bieniemy playing offensive coordinators for the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Leftwich, Eric, both in the Super Bowl right now. 2 offensive minds about to go at it, and it's black coaches, man. I'm telling you, man. The league is 70% black. You implement black coaches, they'll be able to tighten the bond between coaches and players, and that can definitely help out your team.
What about you, Kenny? Talk to me.
I'm always a devil's advocate guy. I think that well, let me say this. I think that it's going to be a great look for African Americans and us having that presence. Because I think that for so long, especially in the game of football, you know, they have been shut out. We have been shut out, and it's time that, you know, we've shown that when we do get that chance, we take full advantage of it and we don't look back. And I think that if we are able to get more people those opportunities, I think that we would have much more of a similar makeup to what Josu was talking about, and just as far as being in the league. Like, you know, you can't really have 70%, you know, African Americans and not have the coaching staff reflect that, because you need those guys. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be great to see, but it's just politics, and, you know, and it takes us hiring ourselves as well, and it takes us making that push. And I know that for a fact, some schools, especially in the MEAC and the SWAC league conferences, are trying to, you know, create those initiatives to push, you know, more black coaches to that league and to that standing. But we also got to do our job while we get there as well, and that goes for everybody across all races. But when we get those opportunities, we got to make sure we take full advantage of them. And it's good to see that these 4 guys, these special teams coordinator, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinators for both teams are doing their thing. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. But I think this is only the start. I think
it's not going to happen at all. I'm sorry to be that guy. I mean, I would love it to happen, but I don't think it will.
Mm-hmm.
For the simple fact that they're not just about to allow black men come in here and start coaching. They're not about to.
Why not though?
Give up head coaching jobs. I just don't feel as though they had ample opportunities to do it if they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, it's always it's out of all the positions that just got hired, nobody black as a head coach.
Well, you could say solid, but at the same time, I understand that. I think that well, go ahead, Keith. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish, and I'll go ahead.
I just feel as though it's a lot of people. It was so many head coaching jobs and nobody black. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, if it was going to happen, it was going to happen.
I'm going to die.
I'm going to just willingly do it.
So this is like something that I've struggled with as well, as far as some of our social action initiatives within our own community. We're doing a lot of work on the ground level, saying we want this, we want that, we want, to have this representation, but we got to do it we got to talk to the people that are making the decisions. So these GMs and these presidents and these VPs and these owners, that we have to get into those circles so we can hire ourselves. Because clearly what we've seen is that we can't rely on other people to do things for us. Like we cannot allow, or we can't just hope for the Eagles. We can't hope for the Texans. We can't hope for the Lions, teams like that to try to hire us if we're not in those boardrooms, if we're not in those conference rooms trying to have those conversations. Yeah, we're interviewing for them, but are we the interviewer or are we the interviewee? I think that's where we should try to make our focus right now. Yeah, we want the coaches in there, but what's changing their mindset to make us to make them want to hire us? Because clearly credentials is not enough. If credentials was enough, Eric Bieniemy would have been hired 2 years ago, or maybe last year after the Super Bowl title. But no, they give some coaches, wide receiver coaches. They give special team coordinators. They give guys that, may have good relationships with other people, but you have better opportunities, better options, and we're not in those rooms. So yeah, I think that we should probably make our focus more for that instead of just having black coaches. Because at the end of the day, we've had black coaches. Anthony Lynn was a black coach, got fired. We have black coaches in the NCAA. 4 of them got fired this past year.
Oh,
After having at least after having about decent years. And it's granted with COVID and everything, you got to cut them some slack, but some other coaches weren't getting cut slack. So I mean, it's something where we have to be in those rooms and we have to create those conversations and be the interviewer and take advantage of the opportunities that we have, rather than saying, "Look, I want to be a coach here. I want to be your employee as a coach here. I want to be the employer." So that's my devil's advocate moment. I'm out of that.
all right. And our last topic for the day, man. Big Matt Staff to the Rams. What do you see this putting the Rams?
If the Rams have the same defense that they did, finishing statistically number 1, and are able to solve any problem throughout the playoffs, I got them going maybe second round, maybe to the championship game, but I don't got them going all the way.
Dang, just second round? So
Maybe third, maybe.
back where they at?
I mean, they got lucky this year, honestly. They haven't been back to like second round since Super Bowl season, unless I'm wrong.
Some good teams in the NFC.
What about you, Kendra?
I don't know, Keisha.
To me.
I don't know.
They got Matt Staff. Matt Staff is good though. He
is
step off the old block.
Not Super Bowl though. That's not you can try to be a win now team, but you're not gonna win.
I think
they definitely gave up and Jared Goff, who's young. So I don't know.
Say Tom Brady retires this season. Are you getting past Aaron Rodgers?
That'd be a hell of a game.
That'd
be a hell of a game.
Nah.
That'd be a hell of a game, because it's not Stafford versus Rodgers. What we fail to realize, it's not 2 quarterbacks going against each other. It's a quarterback versus the defense and another defense versus that other quarterback. So if we're talking about the Rams versus the Packers offense, that's going to be a hell of a game. That's going to be, because Jalen Ramsey on Devontae Adams. That's going to be a good game.
We just watched it.
Yeah, I know. What I'm saying is that now you got, another quarterback, to try to help that team mentally, and just helping that team character-wise. It's a different identity that you're going to have with Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff is and I talk to people about this all the time. Sean McVay is a hell of an offensive genius, but in my opinion, he's more of a West Coast guy where he's trying to get the ball out of Jared Goff's hands. And with Matthew Stafford, that guy has too much arm strength to try to keep getting the ball dipping and dunking down the field. So you're going to have to try to extend the field. And now I think that they have those receivers that can work in that 15 to 20 to 25, yard range from the line of scrimmage that can really extend the field. So I think that with Matthew Stafford, you're getting a much more poised quarterback who's been hit too many times, is going to relish being back there, being protected and having a good defense to keep them in games. You don't have to be every game, don't have to be a shootout. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how the NFC West plays out because they got to play San Francisco, Nick Bosa coming back. They got to play Seattle twice. That's going to be interesting to see how, that defense forms over the next offseason. So he's going to have it tough, but he's on the right team in that division to make it work. So I'm excited to see it.
I like to see it too. I like to see him go to the Super Bowl just because he hasn't been there. I feel like he has the skill set to do it. I just like to see him in the situation, especially coming from being with the Lions after Megatron leaving. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's been rough for Stafford, and I'd just like to see him just prosper one year, just one. I'm not saying if he win it all, but just to be able to say I've been to the Super Bowl. But other than that, man,
that's not much to add on your resume, bro.
It's not. But I would say last but not least, let's just give a shout out to Ron Rivera. That man right there, he definitely beat cancer. Finally.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, man.
Back healthy, of course.
And that's hella stress to have, man, especially during mid-season. Not that to go going on.
First year as head coach of the Washington team.
Yeah.
As a celebration, the front office needs to get him Deshaun Watson.
What they need to do is get a new name. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, Dan Schneider.
But I'm your host, Marquise Holland.
It's your boy Joe Sue.
Uh-huh.
KB.
Peace.
We out of here.
Yo.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Chalk It to the Game podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Chalk It to the Game, Twitter at Chalk It the number 2 the Game, as well as YouTube at Chalk It to the Game channel. You can also catch us on every platform where you can find your favorite podcast. Just search Chalk It to the Game and enjoy.